Welcome back to the Honesty Policy Hour. Today's episode is a special one, not just because of the wisdom shared, but because of the woman behind it. Adriana is someone I met on this wild and beautiful journey through the holistic and self-development world, a space that has introduced me to so many soul-expanding connections. And Adriana is exactly that. Expansive, grounded, and deeply in tune with what it means to live, heal, and lead from the inside out. She's a psychic, business, and mindset coach, helping coaches and healers align with their soul's mission and create 10 to 20K months. Not through burnout or hustle, but through the perfect dance of strategy and self-work. Her work bridges the seen and the unseen, the practical and the energetic, in a way that creates real, lasting transformations. What I love most about this episode is how open and honest and raw our conversation became. You'll hear it, the flow that only happens when two souls recognize each other. When you're with someone who just gets it. The words don't have to be perfect, they just have to feel real. So let's drop in. I'm so excited to share this conversation with you, and I'll see you at the end of the episode. Welcome to the Honesty Policy Hour. My name's Steph, and I'm so glad you're here. This podcast is a space for honest conversations and real connections, where we explore what it means to live well, not just personally, but collectively. Every episode, we dive into the powerful links between mind, body, spirit, and the world around us. Join me and my guests as we share personal stories, insights, and tools to help you live with intention, integrity, and well-being from the inside out. Starting a business, as we know, requires an enormous amount of self-belief, and not just in your offerings, but in your ability to move through fear and keep going. So often these fears are not just surface level, they are just old wounds or old stories that we carry, and they're begging to heal itself, that I've personally found. And I genuinely believe that the spirit world steps in when we need it the most, especially with big soul expansive journeys like your purpose through business. Your work, Adriana, crossing between business, mentorship, and healing is so powerful, and I can imagine incredibly helpful. In your experience with clients, how does mediumship show up to support them? Is it messages through spirit guides? Is it God? Is it loved ones that have passed on through messages? Or is it something entirely different? I'd just love to hear how you see that play out.
So good, so juicy, in with the juicy stuff. Yes, I love this question. I always say business is an initiation. It's a really deep initiation into who we are and to who we're here to be. And I think when we know that from the beginning and we go into business with this awareness that, okay, this is going to reveal all the deepest parts of me, my shadow, my wounds, my biggest fears, it really is. It doesn't make it easier, but maybe that awareness kind of helps us to know it is meant to be an initiation. And then where this beautiful work comes in is we're crossing the bridge of two worlds. So we're taking it from one world to this entire other world, literally, and we're helping you cross that bridge by looking at most of it's psychic guidance. So most of it's actually looking and tuning in psychically and saying, okay, what is the root cause here? Where did all of this come from? Where did this wound, say the fear of being seen, so common, where does it reside in your body? Where did you get it from in your lifetime? Was it from your childhood? Was it from your lineage? And then more importantly, what actually needs to be felt through and dealt with so you can express to your fullest in your business. So what we're essentially doing is more of the psychic stuff, is we're looking at how do we cut through all the noise and get to the root cause so I can tune in and say, hey, it is this. Or I can help you to tune in and say, hey, I think this is what's going on for me. And I think that's why the clients I work with are able to do things and take action in their business that maybe beforehand they weren't able to, which is really, really special. And then, of course, there's everything you said too. It's messages from guides, it's messages from God, it's messages from the unseen realms, and how do we translate them quickly, easily, powerfully, so people can use them not just to know the future, but to actually really build up who they are, move through what's coming up for them to create what they want to create.
Oh, I love that. It is the messages that really reside in our body. I feel that to my core completely. I've started my tallow business as well, and this has just brought up so much in my body. It is crazy, and call it coincidence or not, but all my childhood stuff is really rising. So I feel like when you like scratch the surface on anything to do with self-development, it's like a waterfall of everything that comes through, and having that connection of I guess what everything that needs to be heard would come through you. That is really important. And you know, all the things that don't necessarily come up are things that are just not ready, so not ready for you to hear. So when it does happen like that, it's just a really beautiful wave, and there is no greater way of self-developing than starting your own business. I'll tell you that much. My goodness.
Yes.
So I just love it. And I've also heard you say before that, you know, most people have like top 2 or top 3 childhood traumas that they always have, that they, you know, could start as a kid or through adolescence or whenever that can kind of begin. Now, I've heard you call it as an onion before, and I thought that was just so beautiful, because look, we have 2 ways of, like, your perspective on this really gave me understanding and power in myself, because you said that it was multi-layered, and it was definitely something that, like, when it's repeated, when something is multi-layered or when it comes up again, it's not about dismissing it all, like being upset about yourself that it's here again, but it's just deepening and deepening and deepening. But on the other sort of perspective, in the self-development world, you hear what's not healed repeats. So it can really be blurred to that side where it's like, no, it's not necessarily that. It's just you're getting deeper into it. So, you know, I used to get upset at myself. I'm like, I thought I dealt with that. What do you mean? So the fact that you're telling me that it goes deeper and deeper, it just gave me power, and perspective is power. So when you speak about from that lens, yeah, it was really nice to hear, because you can get so washed up in the language, and I think that was just beautiful. So thank you.
Oh, I'm so glad, because you're so right, right? Like, how often do we have something come up and we say that rhetoric? Not this again. I thought I worked through this. Like, da, 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 da. And we have this almost, it's a little bit self-righteous. It's like, I did the thing. I looked at the thing. This should be over.
Yeah,
But what's
done. Ticked it off.
yeah, isn't it a to-do list? But
Absolutely.
what's actually happening is, like, your body has held this like what I call the onion for 30, 40, 20 years, whatever it is for some of us. And that's a really big deal. And it's repeated it and repeated it and repeated it. And it's not going to be something that's safe enough to eradicate. And we often don't want to. We want to dissolve it over time. So I always use the word dissolve with my clients, because how much more, like, gentle is that? We're dissolving it.
I love it.
It's all
I love
good.
it. I love it. But you are gentle. Like, from the moment I've met you, you just have this beautiful aura about yourself. And I think business can be, like, the word business is stressful in itself. So when I hear you speak, and you're just so calming, and you dissolve me in just entirely. So
Thank you
I
so
just love it.
much.
And I was also following you before we actually personally met. So I was
Yeah.
really curious. I'm like, I wonder if it's the same. And you absolutely are. And I think it's such an important trait to have when you're coaching and mentoring through business, because it's what it's all about, isn't it?
It's so funny. I actually met someone at, like, a gathering the other day where I live, and she met me. She's like, "Oh, I follow you, la la." And I'm like, "Oh, cool, okay." And then she said, "I actually thought you'd be really different in person." And I was like, "That's so interesting. Why?" And she's like, "I don't know, but you're the same. Like, you have the same mannerisms." I'm like, "I know, I just talk like me, but sometimes I'm just like, need to do it in 60 seconds, so it's a little bit more." But it's still me. So I love that reflection. I think that's so important in this online world too. And it's not easy. I don't think it comes naturally to everyone, but it's something we can all strive for sure.
Yeah, the authenticity space is just so important, because that's how we connect. And, you know, and when we see someone that's different from the person that we see on social media, it's a sign of being fake, and you just connect from that. Like, it's just instant, like, no. So I think that being real, and yeah, it's just such an important trait. So I think, yeah, so well done, my darling. Well done. I'm really curious as well, because I was, like, done a little bit of deep diving, and I've when we were speaking last time as well, we were talking about how You have this psychic ability to see things, especially when you're talking to people. I am so intrigued. I am so intrigued. Were you were saying you hear messages? Do you hear things, see things, or both?
Yeah, it's so interesting. This kind of ties into that first question too, and like, is it
Mm,
mediumship? Is it this? Is it that? So the way I like to look at it is, so I'm all of them and both. So
wow.
psychic, so it's a lot to decode at the beginning. So psychic is almost the ability to like, which everyone has somewhere, but to see, feel, hear, know, or receive a message from beyond us. And then the mediumship ability is that real ability to like talk to spirit. So they differ slightly, but yes, for me, I have this really cool way I decode information is by hearing messages, usually through my right ear. So it feels like a little, just a voice in my right ear. It's definitely made me feel a bit bizarre, a bit crazy at the beginning.
I
And then
bet.
um, letters and numbers and now also like energy above someone's head, which is just in their field. So that's something at the beginning I really had to decode. I was like,
Mm,
okay, there's like letters above that person's head. What does that even mean? Who is that about? And that took time to really work out, okay, a letter is this, a number is this, if it's over here, it's this. And now it's obviously second nature for sure.
I bet. It's so special. Like I do definitely believe we all have it. And when we're all humans living a spiritual experience. So regardless of you want to call yourself spiritual or not, we're here anyway. So I truly believe that we all have that gift. It just depends on, how closed are you, how open are you, how deep are you willing to go. So we all have that one thing that we could do. Like sometimes when I'm about to go to sleep, I hear things. Like really loud chatter. To the point where I get up and I think there's someone in my house. Like it's that when I'm getting into that sleep state, it's like I don't know if it's because I'm relaxed or there's some sort of crossover, but that's there. That's there. I told my husband once, he's like, "What the fuck? You're a weirdo."
That too, because your veil before you fall asleep, it's really thin. So our veil goes really thin and that way we can see it. But what's cool is like so many people say like I can only access it when I'm asleep in my dreams or before I go to sleep, like what you're saying. And it's actually a sign that we're not getting the messages during the day that we could be accessing. So our body, our mind, whatever our soul gives them to us in our sleep state because we're not accessing them during the
Wow.
days. That's a little fun fact.
Yeah, there you go. Because of the busyness or the stress or just the disconnect.
Yeah, I'd say a bit of everything. Like that,
Yeah.
definitely the busyness would play in, a busy mind, doing a lot of things. Maybe
Mm,
also just lack of practice. Because now
mm.
for me, even if I'm really busy, I'll still be like, oh my gosh, what's that? What's that coming through? So that will happen for me. But obviously, I've been practicing it for a really long time now as well.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's I just feel that with guidance from that mediumship space, especially those who truly, truly believe in it, which I guess you have to hire you or to work
Yeah.
with you. But also having the the business mind. Like, how do the two coincide? Because I have never heard of it before. Like, were you like, I'm actually good at this and I can do this and let's do it together? Is as simple as that?
It was actually so funny, and I wish it was that simple. I wish it was that simple. But it came with so much second guessing. And in a sense, it was simple because I think I'm quite a decisive person when it comes to these things. But there was definitely lots of chatter around it. There was definitely
Yeah.
lots that came up of like, can you be both? And now my line on everything is you can have both of everything, happy and sad, good and bad, like
Yeah.
psychic and strategy. But I think when I realized I can have both and be both, it was such a permission slip, not only for me, but for so many people as well. Something else that I realized when it happened was when I originally started this work, I was just an energy kind of reader and I would do heaps of psychic sessions, I would do all this work. Then I moved from doing all those psychic sessions to just life coaching. And I was like, this isn't it either. And then I moved to just business coaching, and I was just strategy, just business. And then I was like, but this isn't it either.
Wow.
And then, yeah, I had
So it's
this
not
really,
about both. It's like the three, the trifecta.
yeah.
Wow.
But I had this day, and I remember I just moved in with my partner. So it was years and years ago now, but and I had this click of like, I'm not one or the other. Like, why does it need to be one or the other? What if I could blend both together and I could coach people in their business using my psychic ability, working through their emotional wounds? Like, it still gives me goosebumps. And that's when everything kind of switched. I had to learn, okay, how do I grow the business from here? Because that's what I want to do. And then I really had to learn from there, like, what does it look like to grow a business being both? How do I explain this to people? But also I knew it was the thing.
Well, I guess when it feels right, it feels right. You just get that tick from whoever you want to call it, but you just get that push and you're just like, yeah, this is it. And when you practice it, you feel it. Like, desire is your compass in so many ways. And I love that so much when, when you're doing something. And, for me with the tallow, when my husband, like, because we've been making it for ages. And when my husband spoke about it, he's just like, you should do it. And I'm like, nope. For me, like, I have to sit with something for a very long time or just to think about it. And the more I thought about it, it was everything just sort of lifted. And then I was doing it. I'm like, yeah, why not? So it's just so, but he in his head, he was like, I told you this ages ago. And I'm just like, well, I need time. I need a process, my process. But it's really interesting when, when things just come to you, whether it's someone physically telling you in your life or whether it's you're hearing it, it's just, following that and listening to that, it's just half the battle, isn't it?
It really is. And then having that discernment of like, when is this drop in here? But really, it's taking me too far off my course and it's not for me. And that's where I think that space with it is really, really powerful.
Yeah.
And knowing when to jump like fully in as well.
Yeah, but like, just because it's not right, it doesn't mean you have to stop. Like, it's just, okay, this didn't work. Now let's go this way or let's go that way. And it is, that picture of where your goal is and what it actually looks like to get there, that one where it's just like, it's true. It's true. And that other, the one that just popped into mind as well, when you, that picture where it's like you're so close to your goal, but then you give up and you're just like right close to the gold mine.
Things like
And it
digging in
is.
ground. Yes.
Yes, I love that because it's so true. And I just see that and I'm just like, I wonder how close I was to the gold mine every time I gave up on something, because the giving up is, it's so easy. It is easy. And, especially when you're starting your own business, when you're doing things like my brother used to say this to me all the time, like being an entrepreneur or starting your own business, it's all about putting out fires. And how many fires are you actually willing to tolerate to put out all the time? And it's hard work. And when you get like a little bit of like success and a little bit of growth, that is enough to fuel you for months, because you don't know when you're going to get it next.
And I think it's so interesting. One of the girls, I run a group that's the hybrid, of like inner work and business. And one of the girls recently just wrote a post in there and she was so beautiful. It was such a great post, but she wrote something and she was like, I did not know what I did not know going into business. I realize now I know nothing about marketing. I know nothing about sales. I knew nothing about the initiation that running a business was going to be, like the deep soul initiation. I knew nothing. I wish someone just said to me at the beginning, hi, you know nothing. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love that. And I feel like that should be summed up on the poster that is business.
A t-shirt, babe. Put it on a t-shirt. Hi, I know nothing. Start again.
Yep.
It is. You actually know nothing. The importance of learning something new is so amazing for your brain. It's like, me coming from the fitness world. It's like you're never going to pick up a 200 barbell deadlift and do a deadlift. You're going to start with just the bar and, chuck a couple of weights on and then slowly go. It's exactly the same. And your brain just creates is it the neural pathways that just keep going and going and going. And it is so good for you. Like, it is just, you're just developing, you're growing, and and that sense of achievement is just, there's nothing else that's better. Like, it's just this massive big injection of dopamine where you're just like, I did it.
Yeah, the saying I always say is be in the messy middle. And Allow
it.
yourself to just be in the messy middle, because it will be messy every time.
It is. And I think that was what I was always I was upset about. I don't want it to be messy. I want it to be perfect. I want to do it yesterday and I want it to be this way, but I don't want to do the work and I just want it to look good. And it's just like, sorry, babe, it's not going to work that way. You know, you've got to be uncomfortable. You have to throw yourself in the deep end and you have to not give a fuck about what everybody thinks. And that was the people pleasing thing is incredibly difficult. But circling back to what you were saying about, you know, having that mediumship side, it just makes total sense. The more I'm speaking to you about it, I'm just like, yes, talk to me. Tell me what I need to do. Give me all the messages, everything.
Right?
Yes.
I was just like, of course. And then actually what's really cool is I realized that I could even tune into people's like business blueprint. So their main offer that they needed, how they needed to share it with the world. And I was like, this is gold. Like, I can't
What?
not do this.
What?
Yeah.
Like, how is this? Does anyone else do this? Do you know?
You know, I haven't really found anyone with this exact bridge, but we've tried to find a few people just to see how they're wording all of it, but no one that we can find with this exact bridge, which is just blowing by us. I mean, me and my partner, because we work together on this
Amazing.
sometimes, and he's just like, it's incredible. Like, we've just got to work out how to keep sharing with the world what it is,
Yeah.
because it is, you
This
know, when you're creating something that's somewhat unique, your brain's got to get around it too.
But it's you have to believe in it. And I
Yeah.
think the more you shy away from it, the more it just doesn't go anywhere. When you scream it from the friggin' rooftops and you're like, this shit works, do it. It's just people believe that, and people, especially like people that have that ability to and that want that guidance. Like, it's all good someone physical telling us, but like if you can actually tap into anything like that, mate, like instead of going to see a Reiki healer and going seeing a psychic and then going to see this and just the one person on one plate, babe, you're done.
It's all in one deal.
It's all in one. You're just doing one package. It's fantastic. I think it's great. But have you found that some of your clients you've really broke through with certain messages when it comes to the mediumship side?
Yeah, certain messages for them personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, huge work. So some really beautiful examples are like, gosh, there's just so many, but some are especially when there's physical ailment. So physical ailment being if they're unwell or they have something stopping them from growing their business, migraines, you know, other fatigue issues, whatever. When we tune into those, that's what's really powerful. I had one client who was suffering from really severe seizures. They would sometimes go for days at a time, hospitalization, big impact on her family, her business, her whole livelihood, of course.
Wow.
And such a beautiful woman. And we worked together on what they were actually there for. Like, what were they actually telling her body? And what did her body actually want to pay attention to? So what I did is I tuned into the field, tuned into her field, tuned into her lineage, tuned into all of it. We're looking at all of it and looking at what is the manifestation of the seizure. So we looked through and we processed what was coming up for her in them, and they went from days to hours to 10 minutes to 2 minutes, and it was phenomenal. You know, one of the practitioners she went to in the medical world was like, I don't get what she's doing, but it's amazing, and just keep doing it. So it was just phenomenal, and that's a really big example of tuning in and seeing, well, what's here for us in the field. Your body is trying to communicate something, and we can pull it out and we can find it for you.
What was the underlining message?
There was so many. There was multiple. And something big, what I'll remind people too with a big ailment is there'll be multiple messages. So
Yeah.
it was things like childhood fears were a big one. Feelings
Through
of wanting,
seizures. Jesus. Sorry.
yeah,
That's just mind blowing. Sorry just to
yeah.
cut you off there.
And everyone's is different, right? So some people will be experiencing things like big stuff, ADHD, depression, schizophrenia. These are all usually in this work. If someone's drawn to me, there is a reason, and it's usually because there is an energetic component to this happening.
Wow. Well, it's pain and fear. It hides in our body.
Yeah.
Trauma, it stores. It truly does. And like, you know, there's this book about the back beyond the, I'll have to put it in the show notes. It is wild, and it talks about how people have fallen off like big falls, and they've just like completely hurt themselves, and then they're just like, I'm never going to do that again. But the only way to override that is by doing the same thing that you did previously. And it's like all backed. It is, you can call this stuff woo as you want, but I think when it's you can't hide behind the truth when it comes to this stuff. It is so, like you said, seizures, that is crazy. That is absolutely crazy. And when you can, there's no such thing as a coincidence. I've just learned that a long time ago for myself. Like every time someone says, that's a coincidence, I'm like, no, stop. It is, that's the message in itself. Why, where, how? And when you've got the blueprints like you do, it's half the battle. So, it's wild. And I love how you said there's multiple messages, because I think you're always looking for the one. Like as humans, we always want answers.
Mm-hmm.
So when there's multiple, it's like, no, don't stop because you got the one. Keep going.
Yeah, I call it for my clients a puzzle. It's a puzzle. We're putting together a whole puzzle. We only got a piece. Don't stop at a piece unless it is true that it's complete, which I help them kind of discern and feel through as well. So that's a really cool process too, but it's usually just a piece of the puzzle.
Wow. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And going through the business lens, like, mate, there's lots of fear. But I think because of the childhood traumas, how you said we've always got 2 or 3, the core ones that we've always got. And I think mainly, I don't know if it's everyone, but like you said in one of your videos, you said control. And I was like, yep, hello, that's me too. I don't know if that's I don't know if it's a woman, it's a women thing, a woman thing. But it's just this, it's just the way you've been brought up. You've just got zero control. So after that, you're just like grabbing to every single control that you can possibly get. And that is such a common one. Do you see that that's quite common for the people that you work with?
For the people I feel like I'm working with more recently, it's a lot of like fear, people pleasing, the one you mentioned before, fear of being seen, fear of like not being caught out. Like they're going to know I'm a fraud. You're not, babe. You're not a fraud.
What's that word that everyone says?
Like the imposter syndrome.
Honestly, that pisses me off so much. It's like, where are you supposed to start if you're calling yourself an imposter? Like, we all got to start somewhere. So it's just such a shit message. I don't believe in it. And I hate when people use it, because I'm just like, you'll never start anything if you have that perspective, ever.
A great question when someone says I have imposter syndrome, I say to them, what does that mean? What do you mean by that? And they're always like, huh. So I'm like, I know, like, because we hear things and we say things because we heard them. But when we question them, this is great for everyone to think about, when we question the thing we're saying and we say, what does that actually mean? We get so much more information.
Well, it's not necessarily your words. You're just repeating someone else you heard.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. And exactly to what you said with the control piece too. For sure, that's present. And for me, this was huge. Like that real overachiever, got to get it right, got to get it done. If it's not all done, what am I even doing? Did I fail at my whole life just because how today turned out? So it's very, very real. And I think sometimes everyone's like driver in their driver's seat is a little bit different, but it's definitely a common one.
Yeah, well, look, I think when it comes to the main ones, you were saying they're always very similar, the people pleasing and this. And it is about, it is, I do believe that it is like childhood wounds in our stories that we carry, but it's also very primitive. We are humans. We want to be safe. We want to feel safe. We want to be a part of it, because primitively, when we were ostracized, we would die, literally, because we had to be a part of a tribe in order to survive. So it is also understanding our human foundation of how we're designed, the way we are versus our, current reality isn't always the same, because we've evolved so much. So when we break it down, it makes it easier to understand, and knowledge is truly power. And when it comes to, knowing a little bit about how we were designed as humans, like understanding the manual, like, why do I feel like this? It's not always because you had a shitty childhood. It's also who we are. Yeah. So I think understanding that is also really important.
I was talking to someone the other day and I said to her, like, what if it was just scary? What if sharing this much online was just scary? We didn't have to change it or solve it or make it anything more. It's just kind of sometimes scary. She's like, huh, yeah, I guess I'll just do it. And the other thing to think about with the primitive part of us is my partner says this thing often, and I love it. He always thinks about, okay, in nature, we were part of a tribe. And in that tribe, maybe there was 70, 100, 150 people. And that is all we were perceived by, just those people. Being perceived a lot is exhausting. So someone outside of you watching you do things. Now we have thousands and thousands of followers, maybe hundreds of people watching our stories. So all of these people are perceiving us every single day. So how do we come back to ourselves and say, okay, this kind of is really new to humans, this whole social media. If we look at that lens, it's really, really new. So it's okay for it to be scary, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to do it. It means I'm going to support myself on the journey to doing it.
Yeah, that's when you said the bit, what if it's just scary? Like, I just had to sit back in my seat and just take that in for a second, because it is. I think we're, like we were saying, as humans, we're always trying to unravel why we're thinking things and like try and figure out the puzzle. But what if it is just that? Like, that is such a powerful thing. Like, we do overcomplicate things all the time. So when we like break it back down and, you know, having someone like yourself to guide us through these, you know, really intense moments, it's really important. So yeah, well done, babe, for doing this work. It's really great. It's really nice to see, all three come together. Thanks for being here and listening so far. We're going to take a quick moment to shout out our sponsor, one I genuinely love and that truly aligns with the heart of this podcast, Eco Wipes. They are the cleanest and most sustainable wipes on the market. These unbleached, compostable, organic bamboo wipes are not only super gentle for you and your baby's skin, but when you're finished, they are also perfect for your garden compost. I keep a pack in the kids' rooms for nappy changes and another in the kitchen for all the messy spills that come with toddlers. You can use them wet or dry, which is a total game changer for versatility. But Eco Wipes doesn't just stop there. They've got a whole range I'm obsessed with. They have unbleached organic bamboo toilet paper, because honestly, who wants bleach near their bits? They have paper towels produced the same way, no weird chemicals, no plastic coatings, no nasties, just clean, safe, sustainable products that end in your compost. Now let's talk about Keeps, their take on the kitchen cloth. Forget about those blue plastic chucks. Keeps are reusable, compostable, biodegradable, and organic. Most household cloths on the market carry toxins through microplastics that mess with your hormones and build up in your body over time. Keeps are totally microplastic and toxin free. No plastic residue, just a cleaner kitchen and a cleaner conscience, knowing that they can aid in creating beautifully nourished soil for your veggie patch. Eco Wipes is all about zero waste. The tubs are a one time buy, and the wipes come as dry refills. They are shelf stable until you're ready to mix the solution. They last longer, work better, and create much less waste. And the cherry on top, every purchase you make, Eco Wipes plants a tree on your behalf in Australia. How good is that? I am so proud to partner with this brand that walks their talk when it comes to health and sustainability for the planet. Use my code HONESTY10 for 10% off, and you'll find the link in the show notes. Thank you so much for supporting the brands that support this space. Now let's get back to the episode. It really is.
Yeah, it's really powerful. It's so beautiful. But yeah, that's such an important one to remember, because when we do everything we want to do and we wear the fear like a backpack, it's so much easier. It's like I'm not trying to get rid of the fear. I'm not trying to sort it out before the fact. I'm just moving with it. And I put it on, it's my backpack. And I'm like, we've got this. We can do this together. It's so much easier.
Well, yeah, especially when when I first heard how fear and excitement, it feels the same. It just has a different subheading. So when I'm like, oh my God, I do feel the same when I'm excited. Like I get tightness in my chest. I get the butterflies in my belly, and I'm just like, oh, let's go. I'm excited. But then if I change the subheading to fear, I feel like I retrieve. Like it's like no. So it's like, okay, so is it just the action? Is it the perception? Or is it both? Is it like that one for me was like, okay. So when I knew it, I was like, all right, like you said, let's wear it like a backpack and let's just keep going. Let's not use it as a do not enter, stop, pass, don't go. Use it as, this is just how I'm going to feel. And this is a part of it. I'm not going to just stop because it's come again. Like I said, I'll never do anything. So yeah, wearing it as a packback. I love that. It's, it's scary, but it's great.
Here we are doing the scary things.
But I wanted to talk a little bit the social media side, because that's a really big part of your work as well. It is, that's my, I'm not great at it. I don't love it. It comes in waves. I get really motivated and I'm just like, nope. Because it's always updating. Technology's fast. It's changing. There's always new things to learn on Instagram, on TikTok. It's just, new ways of making reels, and don't do this and make sure you do this. And it's just, when there's just so much information, it becomes so overwhelming and it's just like too hard basket. Tell me a little bit about how you help your clients work through that.
Yeah, it's so important. Firstly, even to what you're sharing, I would say doing it is better than doing it perfectly. And I think for so many people, they're like, well, I want to get it right and it's changed, so I'm not going to do it. And our showing up is so important. This is how I get people to think of social media. If you have a business and you're sharing on social media every day properly, you are saying, the door to my shop is open. The curtains are drawn back, the lights in, and maybe put the sign out the front that says we're open, come in. If we're not posting, we've closed the door, drawn the curtains, and if we're posting just a little bit, it's like confusing. It's like, okay, the curtain's kind of open, but the shop kind of looks closed, and it can be a really confusing feeling for people. So I think when we remember that social media is the shop front open, it helps us kind of be like, okay, is the door to my business open today or is it closed? So that's kind of the first thing we look at. And then we look at, how do we make the strategy simpler? Because you're right, social media changes on average every 2 to 3 months. Wow. That's a lot. So pretty much by the time you learn something, it's gone. But this part's cool. If you learn the fundamentals, they are the same. I've been teaching the same fundamentals for about 4 years now. Wild. So they haven't changed. It's just the intricacies on top that have changed. Then you have the part you shared on consistency, right? We are so much better off using those surges. So you're someone who gets a surge in motivation and then I don't want to do this. And that's really common as well, right? So what we want to do with that feeling is we want to take the surge and we want to create for not just that time, but all the times ahead of us. So instead of in that week being like, I'm going to post 5 times, it's going to be awesome, I'm going to show up my stories 10 times, just bank it, keep it there. For next week when you don't feel like it, it's ready. So a big thing I teach is that we want to create some stability in our business, not too much, erratic behavior, and that can help us do that. So utilize that surge for the weeks when you're like, oh, I hate this thing.
Yeah, especially if you're like, cycles come, you just you feel like shit, you don't want to come up, you're like, oh no, I don't want to look good. I don't want to look good today. I don't want to try to look good. Yes. Because it's hard. It is it's just like the men have their on and off switch. Women, we're just like this beautiful roller coaster, and it's really you have to learn. You have to learn how your surges go, and banking is a really good tip. It's a really good tip. But you get excited because you want to post everything that you just did. You're just like, come on, I'm excited. And then you just you're low surge and you're just like, oh damn it. Got nothing. Thanks.
And when we can bridge it to be just a little up, a little down, it gets so much easier. And I'm the same. There is days where I'm like, I don't want to get ready. No way. So of course, and let alone then when you're a mom and you're a wife and you're all these other things too. I'm like, well, if I have set myself up for success, it's so much easier. And when I treat my business like work, that gets easier too. Because then I'm like, well, this is my work. For me, it's, pays for my food, my house, it does everything. So it's important. It's important that I'm treating it like that. And if we can treat it like that for the beginning, if some people are earlier, I think that's a really powerful way to look at it.
No, it definitely is. Because it's, especially I think, they say to follow businesses that are similar to yours, but I find that disheartening. I find that really like, fuck, I'm not that yet. I'm not nothing. Like, it's easy that self-talk, that negative self-talk can really play out really negatively in your brain and just stop you from doing so much thing. But again, it's fear, yeah? So it's just, yeah, learning how to deal with it. Is that something that you don't recommend to your clients? Stay away from the big businesses.
I got a really cool nuance for you. When I tell the girls in the group to look at their people in their niche, in their world, or we're doing research, I say only do it when you're feeling strong. So don't
Love
just
it.
do it on those days where you're like, I'm crap and everything's burning. Don't look. That
Look.
sounds terrible.
It
But on
is. It makes sense.
makes so much sense, right? I'm very literal. I'm very practical. My brain, it's just how it works. It's part of that being both, right? It's this being both brains is a very bizarre experience because I'm super intuitive, I'm super emotional, and then I'm really logical and practical. And it's like, what?
What? You're like this magical unicorn.
Yeah, it's like, how does all this
I
work
love
together?
it. That's
But I think,
amazing. Oh,
yeah,
mate, no logic. For me, sometimes it's like, nope. That's why I married my husband. He's the logical one in the
it's
relationship.
so common. So common. And then we get to like embrace that other side of us, right? But I think when we think
Mm,
about it logically and practically, we're like,
mm,
well, of course I wouldn't look at it then. But when I'm feeling strong, I can look at it. But the other thing to think about is like, I call it putting a CEO hat on. So you would imagine that in those moments where you're researching, you're trying to find more information, you're actually putting your CEO hat on your head and thinking, I'm looking at this like a CEO of a company. What's working for them? What's not
mm.
working for them? How are they sharing this product? Instead of looking at it as like a little business owner sitting in my, on my couch. I think that's a really helpful perspective as well.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. So so you're saying with my girls with the group, so do you do programs? Do you do one-on-ones? How do you work?
So there's two really cool programs that are like really fitting to what we've been talking about. One is Scaled, which runs multiple times each year, pretty much one after another. And it's a 12-week deep dive into pretty much everything we've been talking about. It's emotional inner work, it's all the strategy for Instagram, it's offer creation, Soul's offer blueprints, like it is everything. This week
Love it.
actually having an integration week because the girls are like, whoa, we've just learned so much. I need my brain to recoup, but it's phenomenal.
Mm,
It's one of the best programs I've ever created. And then twice a year we run Psychic Accelerator, where I actually teach other people how to harness their psychic abilities.
amazing.
Because when it actually came to me, it was a real drop-in moment. I was like, people need this work. They're experiencing it like you. They're experiencing it before they go to bed. They're experiencing it in their dreams. They're having stuff happen day to day, but not understanding what to do with it.
Mm,
They're already having that. So how do we help them to bring it into their life? Because my belief is when we harness our psychic ability, we heal ourselves. We heal really, really deeply. So that's a really beautiful program as well. And there's one-on-one
wow.
stuff too here and there and all of that, but they're my favorites for
Amazing.
sure.
Amazing. That's just, yeah, amazing. I think entrepreneurship and, yeah, doing your purpose stuff, it's big work. It's big, big work. And doing it on your own is so isolating. So having a mentor, having a guide, a coach, someone to offer that it's really important to have that. So I think investing in your business, it's it pays itself off because you're just recharging these women. Do you work with men as well?
Sometimes in the
Mm,
programs, usually it's women, and then men I work with privately. So I currently have a male I'm working with privately. He's incredible. He's so committed, and it's beautiful. It's all the same things. It's more like we work a lot on like understanding himself, but we also work on the masculine feminine dynamics
mm,
within relationships. So
mm,
looking at how it happens in the workplace, he owns a big company, and also with in his partnership with his wife.
mm, mm.
And how does that masculine feminine energy impact it? How can he understand her more and her understand him more? So it's so beautiful.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I think when it comes to like being intuitive and like any form of psychic ability, does usually draw towards the feminine. So most women are into that sort of stuff because we're just, we're creators, we're healers, we're all that. So we're just naturally drawn to that. But, men are usually the ones that are a bit more logical and the ones that like to believe that the world is black and white. So so it's interesting when you do, like, it makes sense that you would get more females for sure. Yeah. And do you have like a group chat where they can all like meet each other and stuff like that as well?
Yeah, it's this awesome user community page back end. It kind of looks like a really well developed like Slack or Facebook page, but prettier and easier to use. And in there, it's actually phenomenal. Like the girls can share anything throughout the week. So for example, they do a post and they want feedback on it. They put it in one of the channels and they say, can I have feedback on this post? And then I'll write back to them and I'll say, cool, your hook needs improvement. This needs improvement. This needs improvement. Here's feedback. Or there's another channel and they can say like, feeling really overwhelmed by business. I'm feeling really, really scared. Like what's going on for me? And then I can tune in and give them feedback. So it's everything pretty much in live time shared in the group, which is just, it's probably one of my favorite parts.
Wow. Yeah, I think community is a huge part when it comes to any form of growth. It just gives you just the sense, like, I think it's a primitive thing. It definitely is. It's that sense of like, just you got my back, I got your back, you got mine. And when you're on that same wavelength and that, you're all in that space, you just lean each other on, and it takes a little bit of pressure off. Not that you're doing it intentionally, but takes a bit of pressure off yourself because they can lean into each other. And, some things that you probably, the girls will get off each other rather than, something that you probably didn't have at the time. So I think having that it's huge. It's definitely, and it adds to the package that you're selling. It's just, it's very, very, very attractive as a package.
It's huge. It's everything. Like when we explain it, when we're selling it, it's a community factor, tribe factor, but it's also, one of the girls just shared yesterday, hey everyone, I'm feeling really overwhelmed about XYZ that we're learning. And then the other girl's like, me too, it is overwhelming, you're not alone, we've got this.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, guys, I could have cried. And I'm like, yes, it's okay. In this week's DM conversations, and it's a big week. It's a lot to learn. It can feel awkward. It can feel hard. And I teach it in such a beautiful way. And it's normal for there to be overwhelm there. Yeah. And the fact that we get to share that together is so beautiful, but also have me there to be like, hey, okay, like, you're not just limited to Tuesday night to share what's going on for you. Your stuff comes up day to day. You don't want to save it till Tuesday night. You want to share it on the Wednesday morning when it happens.
Yeah, absolutely. That's, well done, babe. That's incredible stuff. Incredible. But I have to, sorry.
Ask.
Yeah. The visuals. Tell me, what do you get?
For you?
Yes.
Are you sure you want to know?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, fuck. Yeah, go.
So you came through last night, which is really, really common. If I'm about to like podcast or do a reading with someone, often the night before, I'm like, hi, like, what's going on? Why are you here? And again, it's probably the relaxing thing. And, I hadn't stopped for the night. I was with family. So then I stopped and I was like, what am I doing tomorrow? And then you dropped in. And
my heart's racing. Oh my God. Sorry. Okay. My heart's racing.
Interesting. It's a good feeling. What was really interesting, and I don't know whether this will surprise you or not. I mean, we haven't spoken in so long, so I don't know if it'll surprise you or not, but it's actually your third baby. And the overbearing feeling was this feeling you had of like, I don't know if I can hold that. I feel like, I don't know if I'm just getting things back on track in the business, and it was all very logical. So what happens even in energy work, like you'll come back to me and you'll say like, oh, I don't know about this. But it was actually really interesting that it was your third child. I did see it as another little girl, but it could change into how the baby wants to manifest. That wasn't the most important part. The most important part was that they were there and they felt really, really there, really part of you, really part of your family. Where does that land with you?
Oh my God. Okay. That's so interesting. It's, Oh, I don't know. I don't know where to start. Wow, that's crazy that happened though. That's wild. That
Yeah,
is wild.
was a big one.
Wow.
Do you
Oh
want
my
to
God,
hear anything on your business front? Do you want a business one too?
go for it.
If you have any more to share on that, you can share it too. But from a business front, a lot of it was kind of what you've shared today. It was the fear getting in the way, and that there
Mm.
is space for more forward, faster momentum,
Mm-hmm.
but you are getting in the way of that. So then there's this justification of like, oh man, but there's actually this beautiful space. It doesn't need to be complicated. It can actually all be really simple and leave it simple. Even
Mm.
like your website, your posts, like it's okay if they're simple for now. People want,
Mm.
right now I'm considering buying, let's use Tello, for example, because that's your business that really stands out to me. I'm about to buy it. I'd rather buy it from you than some random on Instagram.
Mm.
So even remembering that people will buy it from you because it's you
Mm.
and you're so lovable, you're so likable, and that will just happen because you're you. And so the more you can show up in front of people and give them what I call the invitation, like the opportunity, buy it from me, buy it from me, buy it from me, the more I think you'll be surprised and delighted. But there's some forward momentum that's like eager to happen.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, it is. It's literally, I was saying to you last time, I think when it comes to the business side of things, I want things done instantly. And when I don't, I get really disheartened. But I'm also trying to let go of the pace of things. You know, I'm a full-time mum. I have two kids that are under the age of 4, and my life is busy. You know, trying to juggle all the hats and juggle all the balls and just be, balance all the hats. It's very difficult. So, and like I do get my surges. So there's days where I'm just like, I'm going to bed. It's 8 o'clock, good night. But there's days where I'm like, I'm working till 11 o'clock and I'm sweet. So yeah, but I'm surrendering. I think I've said this before on one of my podcasts, but when it comes to surrender, that is my message that I get every time. Every time that I do any form of self-development, the underlying message is always the same. And it's just relax, relax. It's okay. Like it will happen. And the timing is always right. Like I've got these beautiful chakra cards and this one always pops into my mind. And it's about a boy who was desperate to see the full moon, and he just wanted to see the moon and he just couldn't wait. So he drew a big moon and he put it up and he fell asleep. But when he woke up, he couldn't see the moon because his drawing was blocking it. And that's the thing. When you rush things, you don't see the beauty behind it. And I just it gives me goosebumps when I talk about that. But it's just, it's so real because it's just like, stop pushing it, because when you push it, you're going to block the real thing. And that message is always my core message. Always, always, always. And yeah, learning to just, it's all good. You know, God's got your back. Everything's going to be okay. So
Yeah. And I
it's an
think
interesting one.
cool word for you and so many other people is honoring.
Mm.
Surrender can feel really hard to find how
Mm.
to do that. Honoring for me feels easier. Like, how can
Mm.
I honor the season I'm in? How can I honor the surge? How can I honor when I'm not in the surge? How can I honor the rest? Honor everywhere. And when we honor that, there's this real peace I find there. And then there's this contradiction, and I always say everything's very dual. And the contradiction is, yes, and how do we not need it to be perfect to be out there? How do we
Mm.
not need the post to be perfect, the website to be perfect? How can we just have it out there because people are waiting for us and they're ready for us and they want us? And I think that's where that real fine line in business comes to being like, I'm going to take it slow. We don't have to rush, but we do get to implement and move forward.
Wow. Yeah. Honoring. That's a really beautiful word. Surrendering feels like, it does. When I think about the word, it kind of feels like just like breaking down, like just dropping. And sometimes you need to get momentum. Like what does that literally mean in my head? Like logically, does it mean that my soul calms and my body keeps moving, or does it mean just sit down for a second and just chill? Because being so busy, when you do chill, you just want to chill forever because it's so exhausted. So it's like I need to ride the waves, but it's so honoring, feels so much more peaceful and so much more just achievable, I guess.
Yeah. And
So
it can
thank you.
also, oh, pleasure. I was like, I've got to say the thing. And that's often how it will happen. It'll just be even a word or a shift of yes, And this, even looking at like when we want to achieve things, there's contradiction in the honoring. So let's use launching a product or a website as the example, and then needing to like take it easy and have some slowness because we're a mom and all these busy things are happening. There's a bit of contradiction in those two things. So there's two parts of us that need honoring simultaneously. So when we look at that, we can say, okay, I could just fully rest and not launch this for another few weeks. Or I could honor a little bit of both, and I could schedule in, there's going to be some nights and days where I'm off. I'm mum mode, and then I'm like going to bed at 8 o'clock mode. And then there's that urgency there to honor the other part that's like, I'm going to get this website out, even if it's basic. I'm just using that as the example right now. And then it gets to go out. And then all the people who are waiting on the sidelines get to be like, oh, yay, I want the thing. So
because most people don't really care, do they? I think they just like, as long as I can just buy it and like you're good. So I think we create but what you're saying, it's obviously intuitive because that's where I'm at. I'm like waiting for it to be before I put it up.
Yeah. And then we justify that. And the justification is so sneaky, and it's so good. We're so good at as humans being like, well, I'm going to justify it by like, and a lot of them are real. My kids need me. I'm a full-time mom. They're real things. And we need to find the line to where we're over-justifying and we're stopping ourselves from putting the thing out there.
We're tricksters. We just trick ourselves, don't we?
Right. I do it too. I still do it.
Go to bed, babe. You're tired. I'm like, no, but I got to do this thing.
It's a fine line.
Oh no, that was just, absolutely amazing. I feel like I just, personally got a lot out of our chat. So thank you so much.
I did too. Thank you, my love. I loved hearing all your beautiful perspectives too. And it was just so fun to share it all.
Oh, I love it. I just love it. I said to you before we started recording that vulnerability was something that I needed to lean into a little bit more in the second season of the podcast to flow with the first season. And I just, I really feel like we got there. So thank you.
It was delicious. Thank you.
It was. Tell everyone where they can find you, what's happening next in Adriana Loves the World. Tell it all.
I'm an Instagram girly through and through, so join me in the Instagram world. I'm sure you'll pop it below, but it's Adriana Loves, and I share lots there. I'm on there, as you can imagine, like every day, and I share lots of goodness there. And you can also jump on the wait list for the next round of the programs as well. So they're currently just in wait list, so it's a really easy, it takes 2 seconds, put your name, your email, and then 0 obligation. You're just on the wait list until the next round opens.
Amazing. Thank you so much, my darling. It's been an absolute pleasure and an honor to have you on here.
Thank you. Likewise.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here and sharing this space with me. This show is an extension of who I am. It takes a lot of heart, time, and energy to bring it to life. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe on whatever platform you're listening on. It might seem small, but it truly helps the show grow. And if someone came to mind while you were listening, please share it with them. These conversations are meant to ripple. Let's keep going together. Until next time, keep doing the work, keep asking the hard questions, and give yourself some grace along the way.